You've been lied to about money. You've been told to chase it, to grind endlessly, to sacrifice your health, your family, and your peace just to catch a few scraps. But here's the truth. Money does not chase the desperate. It avoids them. Money does not reward exhaustion. It rewards value. You can wake up at 4 in the morning, drink your coffee, send 100 emails before the sun rises, and still remain broke if your character has not grown. Because wealth does not come to frantic hands. It comes to steady hands. And if you do not learn this, you will spend your life running after something that was meant to run after you. The question is, how do you become the kind of person money cannot resist? Stay with me, because I'll show you the exact path. Let me tell you something my mentor once told me, and it struck me like lightning. If you want money to follow you, stop running like a frightened rabbit. Stand still. Build yourself into something worth following. At first, I thought he was wrong. I thought the path was about working myself into the ground, about staying up late, waking up early, burning both ends of the candle, and trying to out-hustle everyone in sight. I believed the winner was the one who sent the most messages, knocked on the most doors, stayed awake the most nights. But over time, I learned something that shocked me. Money doesn't chase chaos. It doesn't chase the man who's sweating in desperation. Money is drawn to stability, to confidence, to those who have made themselves into a lighthouse in the fog of confusion. A lighthouse doesn't wander along the shore screaming, "Here I am, come find me." It simply stands tall, shines its light unmoved by the storm. And ships, opportunity, influence, wealth come to it naturally. That's the kind of person you must become. Now let me share the first great principle. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. When I was young, I worked very hard at my job. I stayed late, tried to impress my boss, and thought that earning a wage was the answer. But when I started to work harder on myself than I did on my tasks, my life changed. Because here's the truth, your income rarely exceeds your level of personal development. It's like a thermostat in your house. You can turn up the fire, but if the thermostat is set at 65 degrees, the room will cool itself back to 65 every time. And so it is with you. You can try every hustle, every side gig, every shortcut, but if your mindset, your skills, your knowledge, your confidence are set too low, your financial life will keep returning to that level. The only way to permanently raise your financial results is to raise yourself. That means reading every single day. It means sharpening your skills until people cannot ignore you. It means learning to communicate with clarity, to think with discipline, to manage your emotions instead of letting your emotions manage you. It means asking every morning when you wake up, how can I grow today to deserve more tomorrow? If you live with that question, money will not be able to stay away from you, because life does not pay you for the hours you clock in. It pays you for the value you bring. That's the shift. Let me give you an example. Imagine two carpenters. Both work the same number of hours, both sweat the same amount of sweat, but one learned to master his craft, to create work of such quality that people travel across town just to hire him. The other never studied, never refined, and so he remained stuck, earning wages barely enough to get by. The difference is not in the hours, it's in the value. And value is a direct reflection of who you are becoming. Now here's the second great principle. Learn to solve bigger problems. Money is nothing but a certificate of service, a reward for solving problems. That's all it is. If you solve a problem for a family, you'll earn one kind of wage. If you solve a problem for a community, you'll earn another. And if you solve a problem for an industry, you may build an empire. Too many people spend their lives asking, how can I earn more? That's the wrong question. The right question is, how can I solve something bigger for more people? Do not run from problems. Problems are not curses, they are invitations. Opportunities often come disguised as challenges. A person who learns to see problems as stepping stones instead of stumbling blocks is the person who rises. That's why money always flows to leaders, because leaders look at confusion and bring clarity. They look at chaos and bring order. They look at impossibility and carve out a solution. I remember once meeting a young man who kept telling me, "Mr. Rohn, I want to earn more, but every job I find only pays survival wages." And I told him, that's because you're looking for easy tasks. Easy tasks pay survival wages. If you want to earn more, you must solve something harder, something bigger, something that truly matters. He changed his thinking, and within a few years, his income multiplied. Not because he worked more hours, but because he worked on bigger problems. Here's the truth. Wealth doesn't chase those who look for shortcuts. It chases those who train their minds to be problem solvers, innovators, leaders. If you can develop that ability, you'll never have to wonder where the money is. The money will be wondering where you are. And that brings me to the third principle, discipline. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Without it, everything falls apart. With it, everything becomes possible. Discipline is what takes you from where you are to where you want to be. People ask me all the time, how do I develop discipline? And I tell them, start small. Keep one promise to yourself. If you say you will wake up at 6, wake up at 6. If you say you'll read 10 pages, read 10 pages. If you say you'll exercise, then exercise. Discipline is not about conquering the world in a day. It's about conquering yourself daily, consistently, quietly. Because if you cannot lead yourself, how can you expect money, opportunity, or people to follow you? Money follows leadership. Leadership begins with self-discipline. Every fortune you see, every empire built was hidden behind a wall of discipline. And only those willing to pay the daily rent of consistency unlock it. Success is never owned, it is rented. And the rent is due every single day, due in the small actions that look trivial in the moment but accumulate into greatness over time. Like drops of water shaping a stone, discipline shapes your destiny. So remember these 3 truths we've covered so far. Work harder on yourself than on your job. Solve bigger problems and master the art of discipline. Do these, and you'll begin to feel something shift inside. You'll no longer be chasing money, it will be chasing you. Because you will have become someone worth chasing. Now let's continue, because if you stopped at discipline alone, you would still miss the fullness of wealth's pursuit. Discipline sets the foundation, but the structure of prosperity is built by service. The 4th principle is simple, yet profound. Multiply your value through service. Money in reality is nothing more than an echo of the value you create. It is not paper, not digits on a screen, not coins in your pocket. It is appreciation expressed in physical form. If you serve 5 people, you hear a faint echo. If you serve 500 people, the echo multiplies. Serve 5,000, and suddenly the marketplace cannot ignore you. When I learned this truth, I stopped obsessing over how to get money and started asking myself, how can I give more value? Because the more value you pour into the world, the more abundance pours back into your life. And this is not some motivational trick. It is the law of exchange, the economic principle that governs every marketplace in history. You must give more than you take, and in doing so, you create an imbalance the universe rushes to correct. That correction shows up as wealth, as influence, as opportunity. So I ask you, how can you serve at a higher level? Can you increase the speed of your service? Can you deepen the quality? Can you make your offer more beautiful, more accessible, more impactful? Because when people feel they have received more from you than they pay, they will return not alone, but with others. Serve with such integrity and devotion that if you disappeared tomorrow, people would feel the absence like oxygen removed from a room. But service is not only about what you do, it is also about how you communicate. Which brings us to another critical principle. Refine your ability to express yourself. Communication is not a soft skill, it is a wealth-building weapon. Let me tell you, people don't reward you for the thoughts you keep locked in your mind. They reward you for the thoughts you can articulate with clarity, conviction, and inspiration. An idea kept inside is worthless. An idea expressed with precision can be worth millions. Your words can open doors, your resume cannot. Your voice can place you in rooms your degrees never earned. Influence flows from those who can move ideas into the minds of others. I often tell young people, if you refine your words, you can redefine your world. Practice speaking, practice writing, practice persuading, practice listening. Read books aloud to polish your voice. Watch great communicators and observe their rhythm, their timing, their metaphors. Write daily to sharpen your thinking, because writing and thinking are twins. Every empire has been moved by words, written words, spoken words that stirred belief. Think of history. Martin Luther King Jr. moved a nation not with weapons, but with words. Winston Churchill held his people together in the darkest hours with words. Abraham Lincoln reshaped America with words. Never underestimate the wealth hidden in your tongue. Communicate with clarity and money will follow, because trust follows clarity and money follows trust. Now, let's go further. The 5th principle is this: build networks that grow your net worth. You've heard the phrase, your network is your net worth. But most people treat networking like a numbers game. hand out as many cards as possible, collect as many contacts as they can. But I never saw it that way. To me, networking was not a numbers game. It was a relationship game. Money follows influence. Influence flows from relationships, and relationships grow from sincerity. When I walked into a room, I didn't ask who can help me. I asked who can I learn from, who can I encourage, who can I connect, who can I uplift. That mindset changes everything, because people are not drawn to those who are desperate for favors. They are drawn to those who bring genuine curiosity, respect, and value. So let me ask you, when you meet someone new, do you listen with distraction, waiting for your turn to speak, or do you lean in? Remember their name, absorb their story, ask meaningful questions, and follow up later, not to ask for something, but to give. If you become that kind of person, money, opportunities, and blessings will walk across the bridges of your relationships and land in your life. Influence is quiet power, and it grows not through manipulation, but through sincerity, consistency, and care. But perhaps the greatest principle of all is this: think long term. The masses are addicted to the short term. They want quick profits, quick fixes, quick escapes. They'll grind for 20 years for a small raise, but refuse to spend 2 years building a skill or a side business that could free them forever. But wealth does not chase sprinters, it chases marathoners. It flows to those who plant seeds they may not harvest for years. Life works in seasons. If you miss planting in spring, you will be begging in winter. That's not philosophy, that's nature. You cannot reap what you did not sow, so think not in days, but in decades. Think not in moments, but in generations. Money is attracted to legacy thinkers, people who build with the next 50 years in mind, not just the next 50 minutes. Be a farmer, not a hunter. Hunters chase, farmers attract. Hunters collapse at the end of the day in exhaustion, fearful they may find nothing tomorrow. Farmers rest in peace, confident that the rains will come because the seeds have already been planted. Every dollar you save, every skill you master, every relationship you invest in is a seed. And seeds become trees, trees become orchards, orchards become forests. And forests attract life abundance and sustainability. Think beyond yourself, think beyond your lifespan. Wealth is not found in chasing money, but in building legacies. So here we are. Work on yourself, solve bigger problems, practice discipline, multiply value through service, build networks of sincerity, and think long term. These 6 principles are not tricks, they are laws. Break them and you will be broken. Live them and you will become unshakable. Money cannot help but chase the man who embodies them, because he has become not a pursuer of wealth, but a magnet of it. By now you can see the pattern forming. Wealth doesn't flow to noise. It flows to character. It flows to discipline, to service, to long-term vision. But let's go deeper, because knowing the 6 principles isn't enough. You must embody them. And embodiment begins with responsibility. Here's the truth most people avoid. If you want money to trust you, you must take responsibility for everything in your life. The moment you blame the economy, your boss, your parents, or your environment, you surrender the steering wheel. Responsibility is heavy, yes, but it's the weight that builds the muscle of wealth. The day you declare, I am responsible for my growth, my results, my relationships, my attitude, my income, my destiny, that is the day life changes. Responsibility cuts off excuses and forces the mind to search for solutions. That mindset is magnetic, because money, opportunity, and influence do not chase the careless, they chase the competent. People say to me, Jim, that sounds unfair. I didn't choose my circumstances. True, but you always choose your response. And in that response lies your future. Responsibility is the fairest deal life ever gave us, because it places the power back in your hands. Blame makes you a passenger. Responsibility makes you the driver. Now, let's talk about associations, because your environment is silently programming you every day. If you surround yourself with complainers, soon you will complain. If you keep company with those who mock discipline, soon you will mock it. But if you walk with those who respect money, who multiply it, who use it to build freedom and impact, then you will begin to think the same. Proximity is power, and your wallet will testify to it. Change your associations, and you'll change your results. Here's another law. Protect your energy. Money itself is energy, stored value. Work is energy. Relationships are energy. And too many people waste theirs gossiping, scrolling, drowning in negativity. Then they wonder why they have nothing left to invest in creativity and strategy and execution. Guard your mornings. Guard your evenings. Guard your focus like a jealous lover. Because when your energy is aligned, money flows faithfully to the master who invests it well. But hear me carefully, money will not solve your problems if you are the problem. If you're irresponsible, more money means more irresponsibility. If you are disciplined, more money means more impact. Wealth magnifies what you already are. That's why you must not chase money first. Chase character, chase wisdom, chase habits. Then money will chase you begging to be managed by your capable hands. Let me give you an image. Picture a bucket full of holes. You can pour in 1,000 gallons of water, but if the holes remain, it will leak dry. That's the life of the undisciplined. They earn more, but their habits leak it away. The only solution is to patch the holes, your mindset, your discipline, your habits, before you pour in more. Now, another principle become irreplaceable in your field. If you are just one among many, money will trickle to you. But if you become the one with mastery, the one with uniqueness, the one who brings something no one else does, money will flood to you. The market pays premiums for originals, not copies. Don't just be another employee, another voice, another provider. Be the only one who can do what you do in the way you do it. That's where wealth hides, in excellence and originality. And remember generosity. Wealth flows through circulation, not hoarding. I have never met a truly wealthy person who was not generous. Not reckless, not wasteful, but generous. Because generosity proves you trust abundance, and abundance loves to visit homes where it is redistributed. If you block the flow by hoarding, you cut yourself off. If you expand the flow by giving you open new channels for more to come, money is a river, not a pond. Keep it moving and it multiplies. Patience and persistence. These are two sisters who guard the gates of wealth. Most people quit after one setback, one failure, one rejection. They do not realize that money doesn't chase the easily discouraged. It chases those who remain standing long after the crowd has gone home. Persistence creates mastery. Patience creates timing. Together they produce unstoppable attraction. But above all, remember, this money chases clarity. If you do not know why you want it, it will avoid you. Ambiguity repels abundance. Have clear goals, clear budgets, clear investments, clear giving strategies. Money wants to feel safe with you, and safety is found in clarity. Define your vision and the provision will come. Let me share one final picture in this part. Imagine asking, how can I make $1 million? That question is common, but it is not the highest. The real question is, how can I become the kind of person $1 million would feel safe with? Because money does not flow to desire, it flows to identity. Change who you are and you will change what chases you. So far, we've walked through principles and practices that transform you from a pursuer into a magnet. But don't make the mistake of thinking these are motivational slogans. They are iron laws. And laws don't care if you believe them, they work regardless. Ignore them and you'll struggle. Embody them and money will find you just as surely as rivers find the sea. Now we've come to the final stretch. And here's where everything we've spoken about comes together into one undeniable truth. Money is not the goal. You are the goal. You are the asset. Money is only paper, only numbers, only energy. It takes on the character of the person who holds it. If you are careless, it multiplies carelessness. If you are wise, it multiplies wisdom. That's why I've said again and again, don't chase the money. Chase becoming the kind of person money cannot ignore. Let me repeat this. Money doesn't have legs, it doesn't run, but it does have ears, it does have eyes. It listens for responsibility, it watches for discipline, it seeks out confidence. It follows those who have prepared in silence and stand steady in storms. Money flows to hands that are strong enough to carry it and hearts that are wise enough to direct it. And if you refuse to grow, if you refuse to build yourself, it will bypass you every single time. I once told a young man who was frustrated and broke, the money you seek is avoiding you because you are chasing it with fear. Money can smell desperation. It knows when you're frantic, and desperation repels it. What attracts it is calm assurance, confidence born of preparation. When you've done the work, when you've built yourself into someone steady, you can walk into any room and people feel it. The opportunities feel it. Wealth feels it. You won't need to scream your worth because your presence speaks louder than your words. So let me give you some closing truths. Don't seek to impress, seek to impact. Most people spend what they don't have to impress people who don't care. That's not wealth, that's bankruptcy in disguise. Impressing drains your future. Impacting builds your future. Spend not to be seen, but to grow unseen. One makes you appear rich, the other makes you become rich. And remember, this real wealth is internal before it is ever external. Internal wealth is peace. It is mastery. It is resilience. It is discipline. It is the wisdom to know that applause will never feed you, but impact will. The crowd's approval is a sugar high. It fades. But the fruit of discipline and growth will feed you for a lifetime. Build inner wealth first, and outer wealth will arrive as a natural reflection. Let me give you another secret. Protect your character. Because money will not fix your flaws, it will expose them. If you are arrogant, money makes you more arrogant. If you are generous, money makes you more generous. If you are foolish, money amplifies the foolishness. So don't pray for more money before you prepare for more character. Build yourself into someone who can manage abundance with wisdom, or else abundance will crush you. And don't forget generosity. The wealthiest people I have ever known are also the most generous. Why? Because they understand that money is not meant to stagnate, it is meant to circulate. If you hoard, you block the flow. If you give wisely, you expand the flow. Generosity proves you trust abundance, and abundance loves to return to where it is welcomed and shared. The farmer who eats all his seed will starve. The farmer who plants generously will harvest abundantly. So it is with money. Now here's the final law: clarity. Wealth loves clarity. If you don't know what you want it for, it will slip through your hands. Money is a purposeful tool. Define the purpose and it will obey. Vagueness repels provision. But when you say, this is my goal, this is my plan, this is how I will serve, invest, give, and build, then money feels safe in your hands, and it will come because it knows it won't be wasted. So let me leave you with this. Stop asking, how can I make money? Start asking, how can I become the kind of person money wants to find? Because when you grow into that person, disciplined, valuable, long-term, focused, responsible, generous, clear, impactful, you won't have to chase wealth. It will chase you faster than you can imagine. And when it does, you won't just have money, you'll have the wisdom, the peace, and the resilience to use it well. Never forget, these are not theories. They are laws. Work on yourself, solve bigger problems, master discipline, multiply value through service, build genuine networks, think long-term, take responsibility, guard your energy, be irreplaceable, give generously, stay persistent, and live with clarity. If you do these, you won't just attract money, you'll attract a life of meaning, impact, and legacy. And in the end, that's what true wealth really is. So don't wait for the economy to change. Don't wait for luck to strike. Don't wait for someone else to hand you the key. Stand tall, shine your light, build yourself into a lighthouse, and watch as the ships of opportunity, influence, and abundance steer toward you. Become the kind of person wealth is searching for, and money will never be able to pass you by again.